Hello and thank you for joining the channel. Today we are watching another super exciting chess miniature played in 1966 in the 5th Soviet Cup. The game was played between Leonid Stein, who was playing as white, and his opponent was Isaac Birbrager. The game contains one rare variation of the Caro-Kann defense and a beautiful execution until the very end. As you saw from the thumbnail, both queens were running around the board, grabbing each other pieces, but one of the players were slightly faster, and truly wonderful checkmate is what ended this game. And without further ado, you will enjoy it, and we will go straight into the game. So white opens the game with e4, we have c6, d3, and after d5 we have knight to d2, which is not the best move. Usually in this position, in so-called rare variation, white goes for knight to f3 and goes for this endgame. D takes on e4 is now what is usually played, and after d takes, queen takes on d1, king takes on d1, black continues with knight to f6, and this is how game usually continue. If white wants to go into an endgame, this is how usually white goes and how white plays. But in this game, after d5, white continued with d5, which is not the stronger move, because right now usually black plays e5, but in this game black decided to go for d takes on e4, and after d takes on e4, black decided to go for knight to f6. White continues with knight g to f3, developing move. This pawn is protected. We have bishop to g4 played here for black, and right now white doesn't wait for a second, but he immediately goes with firstly h3, attacks the bishop, and now with e5 he attacks this knight. This knight reroutes and he goes on d5, and for now it looks like black has everything in place. Yes, this pawn is slightly a little bit in the center, but everything is fine. Black holds the position. This bishop is developed. This bishop is out. Caro-Kann bishop. Before playing e6, you want to develop this bishop, and black should be satisfied with his position. But right now, another amazing move, e6. In the game, f6 was played. Of course, f6 is one of the best moves. The f6 is the best move. Taking this is not good, simply because now you will have this weak h file. This pawn will be very weak. This will be a target for future attacks. Also, these knights will have a lot of empty squares to attack. Knight on g5 can jump there. f7 square is weak, and a lot of weaknesses which definitely black doesn't want to allow, and that is the reason why he played f6 here. We have g4 attacking this bishop. Bishop retreats to g6. Now black tries to create maybe some counterplay, but for now white is much faster. He continues with knight to d4. The idea is to centralize this knight and maybe get ready for knight to f5 move in the future, and also this knight looks really good here. Again continued with knight to c7, with the idea to immediately pressure this knight and ask white, what will you do? White continues with c3, and right now black thought that it is the right time to play queen to d5, centralize this queen and attack this rook. And now we are in the critical part of this position. If you wish, you can pause the video and find the best move of the position. Queen to d5 is actually a mistake, and it looks like a completely logical move. And the reason why this move is a mistake is because now white has amazing move. If you found it, congratulations, which is a queen to b3. Queen to b3 is a really strong move because you simply sacrifice your rook for now, but in the next move you will pick up this pawn and you will continue pressuring this rook as well. Also, this king is now very weak because of this central pawn here. This king is caged and potentially checkmate threats can occur. In the game, black decided to go for this rook, and the best continuation by computer evaluation was to go queen takes on b3, and after a takes on b3 to continue playing, but computer gives this evaluation with the perfect play, almost 2 pawns of advantage. Not almost, but definitely 2 pawns of advantage for white. This is how black's position is bad, simply because of this really strong pawn that is put here. Now knight b to a6 is the only way to develop this knight. This a file is opened. White has the different options here to develop this bishop here, to maybe develop it on c4, or to simply wait. There is no need to rush, but definitely much better position here, and this was the only move for black that will work. But after queen to b3, black probably thought that after queen to h1 he didn't want to go into this sort of in this sort of trouble and this sort of torture with playing this endgame, and he went for this. After queen takes on b6 in the game, king d8 was played. Another mistake by black. Now it is really difficult here. The point of this move was to probably go later on f8 and try to somehow protect this knight, which after black picks up after white picks up this rook, probably black's idea was to defend these knights, and somehow this is the way to save the position. Also, black countered that he will have some counter attack with bishop to d3 here. And after knight queen takes on b7, king d8, for now white doesn't rush and he plays knight 2 to f3, which is the strongest move of the position. So although this rook looks really tasty, and although after this knight would look really tasty, this is the strongest move. Simply putting another piece into the game, which will later be really important. Black doesn't wait a second and he goes for bishop d3. If you're not going for my pieces, I will go for yours. This bishop is hanging, and now another really brave move by white. Bishop f4. Incredible move, the best move of the position. Threatening to take this and go for a checkmate. In the game, queen takes on f1 was played, and after king d2, black continues with queen picks up on f2 check. Of course, if after king to d2 you decide to pick up this rook, then after bishop takes on c7 check, king e8, and queen to c8 is a checkmate. So you have to be careful. You cannot pick up this rook, unfortunately. After king to d2, game continued with queen takes on f2, and after king picks up on d3, game continued with another mistake, which is knight picks up on e6. Black probably thought that after removing this pawn he will be probably able to continue the game. After knight picks up and king goes maybe there, he probably thought that he can retreat his queen and somehow defend the position and try to counterplay. But unfortunately, after, by the way, king takes on d3, the only move for black that would sort of continue the game was to actually pick up this knight, but this is 7 points of advantage for white and the game is done. Knight takes on e6 was played, trying to see if white calculated everything correctly. After knight takes on e6, black king doesn't have many options. If king on this is a check from the knight, king cannot go to d7, of course, the king has to go on e8, and now we have queen to c8 check. And after king goes on f7, the last move of the position was knight f goes on g5 with a check. The end move of the position was here. Right now you have a few options. If king goes on g6, then queen to e8 check firstly, and after king goes on h6, the only move, queen to h5, is the checkmate. After knight f takes on g5, if f takes on g5 is played, then knight picks up on g5 with a check, and now whenever you go, you can go on g6, you can go on f6. If king goes on f6, queen f5 is the checkmate. If after knight g5 check, king can go on g6, queen e6 is the checkmate. And if after knight to g5, king goes on g8, then queen e6 is a checkmate. This is what this pawn created, a very big diagonal here. So what else is there after knight f takes after knight f g5 check? We saw that king g6 doesn't work, and only after king if king goes on g8 now immediately, then queen picks up on f8 is a checkmate. And truly a spectacular way to finish the game. Chess is truly a beautiful game. Whenever I visit one of these games, I really admire how brilliant the game of chess is, and how many brilliant ways are there to checkmate the king and to create a wonderful combinations. And this game was just one of those games. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to leave a comment, like, and share this video with other people who enjoy chess, because as you know, this really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and whenever you watch my videos until the very end, it really helps a lot. If you like them and you comment, it really helps a lot as well. If you wish to improve at chess, you can check the link in the description of this video. I'm a part of an amazing community that teaches chess, and you have everything there, from opening, middle games, end games, strategy, how to develop plan, and everything else one chess player might need is there, guys. If you wish, check it out. And for everything else, I'm always here. I enjoy reading your comments about this game. Did you enjoy it? Please do tell me. And I wish you a pleasant night. Bye bye.